the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Green Bay Packers and the San Francisco 49ers. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been had he simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line.
They'll start out on the ground with Jones. And an early how do you do right there as they're going to bury him in the backfield.
Call it officially a loss of 2 on the first play from scrimmage. Second down.
Brings up 2nd and 12 at the 23-yard line.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Shotgun now for Rodgers. Looking for Watkins, and it's intercepted. Picked up by DJ Reed. And they will score. It's a 49er touchdown. Now remember, this is the #1 defense in the National Football League. There's a good example of why.
Shows that they set an aggressive tone, not just stopping the run, not just getting after the quarterback, but the ball's in the air. They treat it like they're the receivers, and they went after that one and took it all the way.
Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line.
First down 10 at their own 23-yard line.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And it's only November, but the playoffs, we know how it works. They'll be here before you know it. If it ended today, they would be the #1 seed.
And that's a great spot to be in. But I love the phrase, if it ended today. And I'll guarantee you, that's what they've discussed in their locker room, in their meeting rooms. Yeah, we know where we'd be if it ended today, but we also know it's not ending today.
Right.
So they've got to continue to play the type of ball that put them in the spot where they're #1 in their conference.
That first down completion only netted them 3. 2nd and 7.
X3, 218, jump.
Out of the shotgun, it's Jones. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
319. Check, watch 54, watch 54. Over. 22 jet bomber.
From the gun on 3rd down, Rodgers. And Adams has it, complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Give him 15 there, and the Packers have a first. That's what we're used to seeing from him right there. Plays like that, why he's #4 in the league in terms of receiving yardage.
Able to make adjustments all along the way. Doesn't matter where he lines up, where he releases from. Working his way into the secondary, figures out defenses and finds weak spots in order to get open.
Looking deep for Adams. And this will be caught at the 30. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A really good pickup of 28 yards.
First down.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
Rodgers now, after the pick on the last drive, 3 for 3 to start this drive. It's 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Rodgers. And his throw's going to be incomplete. That one was intended for John Brown, but it'll be 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 29.
Alert 3, alert 3, alert 3.
To throw again, Rodgers. And this is caught by Watkins. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
56 to Mike. 56 is the Mike.
Hey, echo.
Throwing is Rodgers on 3rd down. This is caught. Watkins. And he will get this into the end zone. Touchdown, Green Bay. Sammy Watkins with touchdown number 7 on the year. As his guys are on the board here in this first quarter. Koo able to connect on the extra point. And we are tied at 7. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Garoppolo going to bring the Niners up here 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Garoppolo. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd down.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on 1st down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on 1st down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up 2nd down.
Garoppolo again here on 2nd and 10. It's caught by Coleman. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him.
And he gets it away. A directional kick going toward the sideline.
The Packers take over 1st and 10 at their own 30-yard line.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. The last possession, these guys were able to tie the game with a touchdown. Now they'll have a chance to move out in front.
Yeah, let's give a big assist to the defense who got the ball back. The special teams went out there, handled things. They've got it. They've got momentum. I know they're eager to get out there and put it on display.
Give him 10 there. Good enough for a Packer 1st down.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
258. 56. Jump out.
Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. This thrown quickly out to Jones. Jones breaking from the contact. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. That one goes for 30 yards.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great, and what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big game. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 12.
319. Mike 54. Mike Orbit.
On 2nd and 12, Rodgers drops it to Jones in the flat. He'll be dropped at the 25 after a gain of 6.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Box it, box it, box it, box it. Hey, watch out, check.
Rodgers now to throw on third down. And it's caught. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, Packers. 2 touchdown passes now here in this first quarter for Aaron Rodgers. And the Packers have taken the lead. Now they'll line up to kick the extra point. And he's got it. It's now a 14-7 ball game.
Mexico score, Packers 14, 49ers 7.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes.
The Niners take over first down 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Here we go.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team, and that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. Now on 2nd and 13. Garoppolo got his man. That's Tyrell Williams. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
In today's football, where receivers break tackles, make people miss, get upfield for the extra yardage, when you see a play like that where it's caught and he's dropped on the spot, that's a big-time play by the defense.
Watch the screen. Mike 42. Mike 42, check.
Throwing is Garoppolo on 3rd down. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Preston Smith in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year.
Well, competition comes up in so many different ways, and right now, this unit, their competition is who's going to get to the quarterback the most times. How about 5 sacks last week? We just saw their first one of this game.
Let's go, baby. Let's go.
First down 10 at their own 34-yard line.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Hey, wahoo!
They'll start the drive with a carry by Jones. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 11 at the 33-yard line.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11.
It's our time. Check 37. Check 37.
Hey, Mike. Hey,
From the shotgun to give to Jones. And he'll be taken down right around the 34 after a pickup of only a yard.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Snap comes at 1. Under pressure, and he'll go down. They'll sack him on what ought to be the final play of this first quarter. Through one quarter, 14-7 our score. Well, he punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. It's a 46-yard punt, 2 on the return. And the Niners will go on offense, 1st and 10.
Here we go, here we go.
The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on 3rd down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a 1st down and change our momentum?
They'll start out on the ground with Coleman. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. Vanderbilt's own Oren Burks had the tackle defensively.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Working from the gun, Garoppolo. This one taken in by the former Baylor Bear, Jalen Hurd. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. 13 yards there and a Niner first. Boy, the evolution of the game and how these guys on plays like that can get out of the pocket, keep plays alive, it just makes things so much harder for defenses.
It really does, and we're talking about an era in the game where the quarterbacks are the most athletically gifted that we've seen in a bunch. I mean, when you talk about collectively, it's unbelievable. So their ability to move is practiced now. It's not necessarily, oh, he just took off and you guys figure it out. When he takes off, everyone knows where to go now. They know how to run routes, change things, make themselves presentable for the quarterback. It's a lot of time that they put in on it. It's not just your static 1, 2, 3. This is where the ball goes anymore.
Garoppolo going to hand this one to Coleman. They get 6 here after the incompletion, and it'll leave them with a 3rd and 4.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
From the gun on 3rd, Garoppolo. He may try and run. Now Garoppolo lost the football, and the Packers pick it up, and he's got room.
I know that taking care of the football is something that's drummed into every guy who plays this position, no matter what, whether he's running it, in the pocket, out of the pocket. But it's almost surprising to me that there aren't more fumbles by that position because of the way that they get attacked on each and every play.
Yeah, well, he had the fumble last week. Now here's 2 weeks in a row with a fumble loss.
Concentration has got to be there, and he's got to understand how much time he has to take care of a play, and maybe his clock is off just a little bit.
A loss of 2 there, 2nd down.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
Check.
On 2nd and 12, Rodgers. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Nick Bosa, what a season he continues to have, his 15th sack of the campaign.
Well, someone's closing in on the league lead in sacks. He came into the game in the top 5. Now you add 2 more to his total.
Rodgers now, after the sack, he'll lead the pack up on 3rd and long.
54 Mike, 54 Mike. Check, watch 54, watch 54.
Shotgun now for Rodgers. And the pressure gets to him again. Nick Bosa, he continues to wreak havoc in the offensive backfield. Sack number 16 on the year. And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. Out of bounds and close. The question, was it a touchback? No. They'll say it crossed out at the 2-yard line. Excellent placement, and off that bounce, Charles, I didn't know where it was going to go. It can be an inexact science as to where they place it, but they say the 2-yard line.
Yeah, I don't know how they really determined that. And let's face it, at the end of that play, one side's going to be happy, the other team's going to be unhappy. So, what do they do, shorten the hypotenuse? I mean, how do they figure that out? You know that stuff. You're the smart guy.
Oh, that's you, partner. They'll try to get forward, but he's going to be stopped in his tracks at about the 3.
Really shouldn't be a surprise. It's going to be hard to move people in this situation. You know they're going to bring the pressure defensively. So I remember playing in these spots, and my coaches always say, don't be afraid to try and create a safety, too. They're going to bring pressure.
On second down, it's Coleman. And he'll find a little space. He gets us up near the 10. Give him 6 yards on the carry. It's going to be 3rd and 3 now.
I think we can safely say that those types of plays are the backbone of this offense. We know not every run's going to be a big hitter, but you know they'll take that type of result on each and every attempt.
6-man.
Garoppolo going to try and throw on 3rd. Looks to throw, fires right side. And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's 4th down. Here comes the 49ers punter now as he's on to kick it away. 44 on his first punt, and this is a good kick as well. And the punt goes out of bounds. Where will they put it? They'll put it just inside the 45-yard line. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone.
Give him 10 there. Good enough for a Packer first down.
Now, that's often a surprise for the defensive guys when they see the big fella slide out of the backfield and catch the ball. Not something they usually go over in practice very often.
Rodgers now 9 of 11 passing in this first half. He's got his guys at 1st and 10. Jones. So he got free of 1 tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else. Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6.
Cut it left. Cut it left. 4 down. Check. 4 down.
Rodgers now to throw. Looking right side, and that's complete to Watkins. And this will move the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the 49ers' 31-yard line. Talk about a big first half. Already has the 2 touchdowns, adding to his receiving total there and picking up the first down.
He's coming off the line so fast. I think he's intimidating the defensive backs with his explosiveness, and he's chipping away at their confidence.
And to give this time to the tailback. Now the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves them with 2 to go on 2nd down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Eight yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple.
Come on.
To throw is Rodgers. Over the middle, and it's incomplete. He shook his head right when he released that throw. He knew it was going to be a little off target.
Yeah, the excitement got him on that one. Wasn't able to control the fact the receiver was open, and it would have been an easy throw.
The Packers on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This time they face a 3rd and 2.
26. Hey, box top. 54 is Mike. 54 is Mike. Check. Watch 54. Watch 54. He can't hang.
They'll try and run for it with Jones. And he will be very close to a first down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means 4th down.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. So that's a 7-play drive that ultimately stalls out there at the end.
And things were a little leaky in the beginning on that drive, weren't they? But how about the front 7? As they got closer to the goal line, things stiffened a little bit, forced the field goal.
Here we go.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3.
Hey, alert 3.
Lock.
Now Garoppolo. That's complete to Williams out of the backfield. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. He'll get a dozen there, and it's a first down, 49ers. Coming up in a couple of minutes, we'll get you to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. The coach will have stats and scores from earlier today in the NFL. Looking to throw, Garoppolo. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Tyrell Williams was the intended target. That'll bring up 2nd down.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things.
12, fellas, here we go. 12, fellas, here we go.
Garoppolo to try again on 2nd down. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
Feels like they're getting caught in between here because they didn't completions on 1st and 2nd down. Now you got to worry a little bit about the clock because you prefer not to give them another shot here in the first half. But if you don't pick up the first down, guess what? You're likely going to have to.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10.
Mike's 4-2. Mike's 4-2. Here we
Go.
42, Mike 42. We got to get the ball, Z. Get the ball.
Garoppolo looks to throw once more. Open man is Pettis. It's complete. And this is going to result in another first down as the tackle's made at the Packers' 35.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
Here we go.
Garoppolo now, 5 out of 10, 50% throwing it. Not so hot, but he does have a first down. They run on first down as they're able to get this forward for about 4. They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. Tough running there. That's a hard-earned 4 yards.
Yeah, those are the unsung kind of runs. They don't fill up the stat sheet, but they do set you up in good position on 2nd down.
To throw on 2nd and 6, Garoppolo. The ball popped in the air and intercepted. Picked. Off around the 27.
Interception, baby. Stay.
They'll take over 1st and 10 at their own 27-yard line.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. You've got under a minute to go here until halftime. You got the good-sized lead. No need to do anything crazy.
No, there really is no need to do anything crazy. The smart play, go ahead and take your lead into the locker room and then try and add to it in the second half. But there's a part of me that looks at this and says, first half going my way, I have a little bit of a cushion. Let's go ahead and try and extend things. If you've got some good plays drawn up, you might want to think about them right here.
So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. looking from the gun. Rodgers is going to let this go for the end zone. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's second down. Well, the incompletion, yes, but maybe here not the worst thing in the world?
No, not on 1st and 10. It actually gives them a chance to regroup, relax just a little bit. They huddle up, talk it over. Then they get a chance to continue their drive.
Yeah, Liz. 56. Mike, 56. Right there, 56. Watch a slap. Watch.
Back to the air on second down. It's Rodgers. Throw left side complete. That's Hodges. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play in this first half. Rodgers now over 200 yards already in this first half. It's 1st and 10.
Mike 5-4. Mike 5-4. Mike 5-4.
And again, it's Rodgers. And he's going to be taken down here. A sack back at the 32. Nick Bosa in there to bring him down, and that is sack number 17 now on the season. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing second and a bundle. Now a draw play. This is Jones. 5 yards will get them back to the original line of scrimmage, but now they're looking at 3rd and 10. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. And his kick is right there. It's good. And that will open the lead up now to 20-7. So a capper there to a pretty good first half.
And I love the way that they put a chokehold on the clock and pretty much drained everything before they put the field goal on the board as they headed into the half.
So we've reached the intermission in what right now is a 13-point game. As we'll send you back over to Orlando with our EA Sports Halftime Report, here's Jonathan Coachman. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line.
Go! Let's go! Over 1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line.
The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is a real, I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. From the 25 on second down, Garoppolo. This will be caught. Tyrell Williams. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or
better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
But now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. On second down, it's Coleman. Now they're able to swarm him behind the line, and his rough night continues. Call it about a gain of 3, and they'll be looking at a 3rd and 7 coming up.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
Let's go, D. It's going to be a long day.
A shotgun snap for Garoppolo. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And fourth down now coming up. So coming up empty here to start the third quarter. Already 2 scores down. Got to be careful.
Yeah, I did notice, though, that the captain of the defense patted the quarterback on the helmet on his way out, pretty much letting him know, we know the pressure's on us. We're going to go out there and try and hold serve for you while you figure it out over here on the sidelines.
Here comes the 49ers punter now, as he's on to punt for the 4th time tonight. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line.
At their own 22-yard line.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. They have the lead here. Well, we talk a lot about pregame speeches. What are halftime speeches like?
For the most part, not nearly as emotional. They're a lot more clinical. Every now and then, though, they'll get after you if they think they need to light a fire. But in this case, let's go into the virtual locker room, because here's what I think happened. They got in there and they said, listen, let's take control right away. Defense, we got the lead. Defense, don't give up any points. Turn the ball back over to the offense and let them go down and score and give us more of a cushion in the game. Check so far. Defense shut them down. Let's see if the offense gets done.
Here a throw taken in by Watkins. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. Give him 10 there. Good enough for a Packer first down. Rodgers now 13 out of 17 throwing the ball. He's got a first down.
Check.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
So statistically, both of these offenses having a rough time getting a running game going. But, boy, what a nice play there defensively.
Tackling him behind the line, but you're right. You look at the numbers. Neither side looks on track in the ground game. On second and 11 now. Rodgers. And this is caught by Watkins. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. And this will move the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the 49ers' 44-yard line.
And the Packer first down.
So from inside Niner territory now, this is 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line.
88. 54
Here's Watkins on the jet sweep, and that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 13.
Let's go now. 60 out low. Watch the curl. Very slow. Drive on. Zoom.
13 yards, first down, Packers.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball, protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Jones. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on first down. That loss of 3, a rare stumble on a promising drive. Here's 2nd and 13. They'll go again to Jones. And he'll snag about 5 yards down to the 32. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
Right there, 54, right there, 54 Mike.
And he'll be stopped short of the first down as they rally to tackle him at about the 28. 4 yards on the pickup there, but it's going to take him to 4th down.
Even though positive yardage was gained on that play, I think the defense has to be happy. Obviously, they were prepared for some trick plays coming into the game, and they looked very aware that those could happen on any given down.
So 3 field goals that he's hit now. This last one helps him stretch out the lead.
He's been solid, hasn't he? And he lives up to the adage that every offensive coach has ever said to us. We want to end every possession with a kick, right? For them, it's either extra point, field goal, or at worst, a punt. In this case, it's been 3s.
Here we go.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. From the gun, it's Garoppolo. This one into the hands of Hurd. And they're able to get this one across the 35. First down, San Francisco. The pickup, 14 yards.
First and 10.
Garoppolo, just 7 of 15 so far, but he's got a 1st and 10.
We got 4. We got 4.
To throw, it's Garoppolo. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Darnell Savage.
Well, that's a drive killer right there. Not a really confident throw either. This one was kind of up for grabs, and it's going to come down the hands of the wrong team.
So good field position for the Packers as they come up 1st and 10, just shy of midfield at the 49. Now they try the right side here. They find some open field here. 17 yards on the play there as the Packers have the first down as well.
Absolutely love the run right there. This guy's known for his quickness, but also for his speed, and he's able to get to the second level almost before you blink if you give him any type of blocking. Always talk about slot receivers, and they're usually known as quicker than fast. In this case, we've got a guy who's quick and fast, and he used it to great advantage.
Back to the ground, this time with Jones. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. It'll be a loss of 1, and it'll be 2nd and 11.
At the Niners' 35-yard line.
56. Come to the screen. Mike 56. Mike 56.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
And it's 3rd down.
They need to get this to the 24 on 3rd down.
Hey, here we go. Watch the twitch. Watch the twitch.
Off play action. Clancy. Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 38. Nick Bosa in there to get him, and that is now sack number 18 on the season for him. And this is good. It was running out of gas there at the end, but he winds up getting just enough on it. Back now here in Santa Clara, where the fourth quarter will begin with a kickoff following the score on the final play of the third quarter. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And he is out of bounds here on the return.
Let's go! Let's go! Here we go.
The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25.
All right, T, let's all right, T.
Garoppolo now. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a third down. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
The Niners on third down. They've had their troubles, just 1 for 6. This is 3rd and 10. Throwing now is Garoppolo. And that will be incomplete. Well, it just seems like... All game long, there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up. They haven't been on the same surface tablet that you look at on the sidelines. Nothing's worked for them. They've got to find a way to start matching each other's movements.
Now they go for it on 4th, but this one is going to wind up incomplete. The Niners go for it, but it doesn't work out. And the Packers are going to get the football back in excellent field position.
Watch 54. I'm coming, baby. I'm coming, baby.
A first run for the backup, Abdullah. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to take it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
2 yards, good enough for a first.
It's nice every now and then in this game not to see people overthink it. Just hand it to the old reliable guy. Let him pick up the first down.
Keep it up, guys.
Right back to him on first down. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. Good gain there on first down. It keeps them in a running situation, probably.
They did everything right on that play, didn't they? They got the leverage up front, good blocking, nice hole for him, ends up picking up nice yardage, stays in bounds to keep the clock rolling. They are in charge of this scenario right now. They want to stay that way.
And not in any rush offensively. And this is going to result in losing yardage. They're driven back to the 8-yard line. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up third down.
Well, that's the big drawback to this play. Even if somehow the quarterback pitches it, he's not immune to the big hit. In this case, he kept it and absorbed it anyway.
On the delay, Jones. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 10-yard line. The defense stiffens to force fourth down following that first down gain of 8. And his kick here is good. And that will extend their lead even further. So yet another field goal to end a drive. That has been a very common theme. He's now hit 5 of them in this game.
Yeah, Brandon, as an offense, you hate that you've had to call on your kicker so often, but you have to love the fact that time and time again, he's come through.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And on that last drive, went for it on fourth, turned it over. Good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense. They've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on fourth down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3. And that's exactly what happened there.
Factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end.
That one, a first down pickup of 8.
That's a good, nice, crisp run for a first down. I wonder if the defense might have been loosened up a little bit, maybe anticipating a pass instead of the run that they got.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. From the gun, Cassidy. This is Coleman with a grab. And he's going to be stopped up right at the line of scrimmage. Nothing on that one. It'll be 2nd down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or 2 miss, but that window closed quickly. Now, meanwhile, here's a 2nd down throw that's knocked away and incomplete.
I think this one offensively, this is one where you just say, let's move on. Let's not even watch the game tapes from this one.
Yeah, you might just want to throw it in the trash, act like it was never there in the first place.
Yeah, just say we're good. I actually have heard of a coach in the past who took his team out to the practice field and ceremonially buried the game film from the prior game when they got clobbered. That was his way of putting it behind him.
Nowhere to go downfield, but he's able to get out of bounds and stop the clock here with a first down. So into Packer territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. Back to throw. Cassidy. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. 2nd down. Well, this secondary has done such a good job of frustrating these receivers tonight. Another example right there on the deep ball.
Sometimes when the sun goes down and it's just the bright lights in the stadium, there's a little extra spring in their step, doesn't it? And that's what we're seeing from the defenders. Doesn't matter what it's man or zone. Deep ball, short ball. And that was a deep one there. They're making plays on the football, contesting everything.
The Niners on 3rd down. They've struggled to the tune of 2 for 8 so far. Here it's 3rd and 2. Looking to throw. Cassidy. But when this ball's tipped and intercepted. Picked off at the 39. And a super return as he gets us all the way down inside the 25-yard line. That's not one that he's going to want to remember, but he had to get it out of the way at some point, his first career interception.
And if he's the guy that they think he is, he's not laughing it off, but he's also not going to let it affect him as the game proceeds. He's going to go back out there, still be the same confident kid, the reason that they drafted him, and go out and play.
Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Well, that's a pretty good drive starter right there, and I don't know, partner, if you're even thinking about sitting on the ball right now. They may just want to run their regular offense.
In plus territory, and as an offensive coordinator, you don't want your team to go into a shell, do you?
No, you really don't, because as soon as you take your foot off the gas, it's real hard to put it back on and mash it, because once everyone's emotions come down, hard to start them up again. So I think you may want to keep them cranking high right here.
And he's taken down after a gain of 3 as they move it from the 22 to the 19.
That's what I'm talking about.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Come on, boy. Come on, boy. You better be ready.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And they'll get him down about 3 yards short of the first. 2 yards on the pickup there. It's 4th down.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
And his kick is good. And that'll extend this lead now up to 25. Well, it's hard to put your finger on whether this is something to celebrate or something maybe the offense is embarrassed by, but that's now 6 field goals he's made in this game alone.
Yeah, he's bailed them out quite a bit so far, but it's very comforting to know that you have a kicker that's got your back.
The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception, but they didn't. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down.
It's a loss of a yard. Brings up 2nd and 11.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. The sack cost him only a yard. It's 2nd and 11. So it's 49er football here as we get you reset. They're looking at 2nd down now as they search for a consolation score. To throw on 2nd down, Cassidy. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down. Definitely desperation time. This just looks like, hey, throw it down there, hope that your guy can make a play.
You want him to make a play, but if not, maybe you get a pass interference call. And you know in the NFL, that's a spot foul. You get all of that yardage. That would be a big play.
Flush to his right. And unable to connect. Incomplete. I'll give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield.
The Packers take over 1st and 10 at their own 34-yard line.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now, defensively, they do have all 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point.
Loss of a yard. Brings up 2nd and 11 at the 33-yard line.
Let's go now. 54. 60 outlaw. 54. Watch the run. Hey, they're running it.
And they'll take a knee as the clock runs under a minute to play. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long.
I'm coming after you.
And they will take a knee here.
The quarterback on the keeper. A loss of a yard. Brings up 4th down.
On now is the Packers punter as he'll come on to kick this one away. So it's all over. A Green Bay victory. And, you know, it wasn't a shutout. They did give up the points in the first quarter, but 2nd, 3rd, and 4th quarter, they held them scoreless.
Brandon, if you throw a shutout for quarters 2, 3, and 4, you can win a lot of games in this league. And this felt a lot like, almost like if you say baseball, and the pitcher goes through the lineup the first time and the hitters get to see him, and then they come out after that and the bats start blazing, right? I think they saw their best stuff in the first quarter and just shut everything down from that point on. What a great, convincing performance.
So for Green Bay, they're setting themselves up as a major contender as they move to 8-1 now on the year. And they'll get another road date next week as their opponents will be the Minnesota Vikings. Meanwhile, for the 49ers, the loss will drop them to 6-3 now on the year. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves next week at home against San Francisco. So for our entire crew, alongside Charles Davis,